Guess who you have a last chance to see exclusively in theaters tonight?
Art the Clown!
Terrifier 2 has returned to theaters for 2 days, and tonight's the last night, as well as an exclusive Terrifier 3 scene that you can only catch in theaters. I do everything last minute, so I'll personally be there to see the GOAT Art the Clown once again. The Terrifier 3 director himself is teasing that the opening scene of Terrifier 3 is so disturbing that it is going to be controversial. I'm a huge fan of the Terrifier franchise. Terrifier 3 is one of my most anticipated movies of next year.
This footage shows a young girl named Jeannie Wiley from California, who is often referred to as the feral child, shortly after she was rescued from an unimaginable nightmare. Jeannie spent her early years in horrifying conditions, confined to a small room by her own father. She was tied to a potty chair, unable to move freely, and any noise she made was met with beatings or animalistic growls from her father. At the age of 13, she was barely even able to walk. Her situation finally came to light on November 4th, 1970, when a social worker discovered her. Linguists saw in her a unique opportunity to study language acquisition and test theories about critical learning periods. Despite her traumatic past, Jeannie showed remarkable resilience. She quickly developed nonverbal communication skills and basic social skills. However, the damage was too deep and she could not fully acquire language. After turning 18, Jeannie moved through a series of institutions and foster homes for disabled adults. Unfortunately though, these places subjected her to more physical and emotional abuse. Her current whereabouts remain unknown.
They brought in 150 terrorists just for the ambassador's kidnapping. Half of them went on the compound and half of them cordoned off the streets. I don't even know if I can name any terrorist attack with extra 150 terrorists. At least 50 of them are Al-Qaeda, and then the others are Al-Qaeda affiliates. This attack is massive.
And these are well-trained guys.
We very painstakingly made that clear. We walked through their entire history, so if they fought in the Afghanistan Mujahideen time, they're in there as that. If they fought in our Iraq wars, which started around 2003, 2004, they're in that. In between those two, a lot of people forget is the Algerian Civil War. 200,000 civilians were killed in that war.
I had no idea.
It was an insane jihad thing, and it always gets ignored. And then the Libyan Revolution.
Oh, we got your ass. We got your ass now. So some people will say this is caused by wind erosion and rain. Others will say this is nothing more than a natural rock formation. But brother, that's a petrified cyclops. And it's not just a cyclops. There's a whole cave of petrified furniture, beings, people, all type of mad things, brother. Like, look at that. It's because a chair. Are they shoes? That's a person, brother. A petrified person. Now, I don't know where this is. It says it's somewhere in Russia or Ukraine. But this is a mad thing, bro. If anyone knows what this is, somebody tell me. I mean, who is that? Who is that? That's somebody, bro. That ain't just a normal rock formation. I'm not having it. And I'm not a scientist. And I don't study rocks. But brother, that's a hand.
You guys believe in duendes?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, bro.
What?
I seen one. It was fucking weird, bro. I remember it was at this house that we live in right now too, and there's two glass sliding doors. And I remember the one on the right, it was open, and he moved in and he started waving down to like get my attention, like teasing me. As soon as I looked that way, it moves out the way. I couldn't tell what he was wearing, but I remember it was like small and it had like a red hat. And I was like, well, what the fuck was that? I thought I was tripping. I'm like, I'm just gonna ignore it. And I go back to eating, and again it happened. And he does the same thing. I get up, I open the door, and nothing was there. And it happened like I could you not 4 or 3 times until like I got up, I closed the door, I took my cereal, I threw it away, and I was like, man, I'm gonna go to bed. Fuck this guy.
Recently, my godmother, she told me a story. When she was 7 years old, she was out in the front playing with her like siblings and stuff. Out of nowhere, she hears like giggling, and she doesn't know where it's coming from. And then she turns around, and then she sees 4 duendes, but they're like dancing and laughing, but like they're in the formation of, you know how like when they're holding up a coffin, like 2 people in the front, 2 people in the back. They were in that formation. They were holding a little coffin, and The way she described them, like they were wearing a big ass sombrero, big ears, the big nose and stuff, like the typical duende description or whatever. And then her mom turns pale, and she thought she was tripping because she saw the exact same thing too.
I know in the San Bernardino area, where like near Cal State, San Bernardino, it's like a mountain area.
Going up to Lake Arrowhead.
That's where like people still live up there, saying that there's duendes roaming around that area.
Actually, my
Top 5 most creative Saw traps in the franchise. Number 5 is going to the classic reverse bear trap. It has such an iconic look and a really cool premise of this tool that we've heard of before, but just completely turned in on her head. Number 4 is going to the oxygen crusher from Saw 6. The idea of competitive Saw traps is just very interesting to me, and the idea that holding your breath the longest will secure your survival is fun. Basically, every time they take in a breath, their ribs and lungs are getting crushed by cement blocks. Number 3 is going to the water cube trap. Yes, this trap is rigged, but it's very cool and very unique. This guy has this box on his head where water is continuously flowing in. So basically, it's gonna drown him unless he figures out a way to get out of it. But to me, it visually looks really cool, and the idea of you drowning while none of the rest of you is submerged in water, pretty interesting. Number 2 has to be the marionette trap from Spiral. There's a lot of really good imagery in this trap, because here we have one of the most corrupt cops in the movie, Chief Banks, and he's being suspended just like the marionette puppet of the cop Pig earlier in the movie. Number 1 goes to my favorite, the glass coffin. The glass coffin looks so cool visually, and it has an excellent twist that just makes the movie.
Okay, this was from a home security camera. It was captured in 2015 because that tricycle that you're seeing kept showing up in this person's backyard. So the context of this is that this is one of those cameras that doesn't take video. It like captures a still every few seconds, and sure enough, the tricycle appears. But look at the background. The more I looked at this, the more I lost my mind. Those are feet. Those are feet of a person who is standing there in this shot in the background. Even the homeowner, John Coleman, he didn't even catch that when he was looking at the background. Somebody had to point that out to him when he looked at the footage. What's even crazier is that this didn't even help. They never caught who was doing this. So who was this person, and why were they leaving that tricycle?
Let's talk about the craziest haunted house ever made, McKamey Manor. This haunted house is so horrific that they recently made a documentary on it. And what McKamey Manor does is it puts its participants through horrifying things, such as live animal challenges, traps, and so much more. All for the cost of dog food and all of these requirements. It is so intense that it even had petitions to be shut down. Now listen, if you're having Halloween withdrawals and want to find haunted houses and other creepy attractions that are super fun for the whole year and safe, not like McKamey, Morty is my secret weapon. I use it to find haunted houses, but it also has super scary escape rooms and other immersive experiences. You can also filter it to show scary things or not scary things. It has a whole haunted house and escape rooms community on it. It's pretty fun. So download the Morty app. There's so many options on there that I guarantee you're gonna find the type of scary experience you want. Go check it out. Go check it out.
Breaking news Thursday, November 2nd. Alicia Navarro has officially been reunited with her mother. As you may remember, the now 18-year-old disappeared in 2019 from her home. She wasn't located until she walked into a Montana police station back in July. When she went into the police station, she said that she was living with the 36-year-old man that was her, quote, boyfriend. He is now behind bars on unrelated charges to her. 4 years after vanishing, she has now been reunited with her mother. Her mother has released a statement saying the support, prayers, and love my family has received from all over the world for the last 4 years has been truly inspiring. A representative for the family also confirmed that they are no longer living in Arizona. The representative also noted that the family has challenges ahead considering that she has not been in school in the last 4 years or received health care. Her mother finished by saying, quote, "This has been a very difficult journey, but it has a happy ending, and today my family is complete." At this time, the family does not plan on giving any interviews. If you'd like to hear more on the arrest of the man that she was living with, you can click the playlist below. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you guys think? Drop in the comments.
You know how everyone has like one fear that's totally irrational? My one fear is getting killed by a hitman that confused me with another person. Because that's what happened in the case of Daniel Ott. When Daniel was 31 years old, 3 men broke into his house and tied him up. They were there because another man had hired them to kill Daniel Ott. But once they tied him up, they realized that they had the wrong guy. Who they were really supposed to kill was a 70-year-old Daniel Ott who had snitched on the person in prison and had landed that guy in jail. Instead of letting the innocent Daniel Ott go, they freaked out and killed him. And that might not be the only time this has happened. In 2000, 2 women named Mary Morris were killed in their cars in the Houston area just days apart from each other. There were basically no suspects in the case, and each of them was missing a ring when they were found, which some people think was because the hitman took it to prove to the person who ordered the hit that they had completed it. And so now people are wondering the same thing. Was a hitman hired to kill one of them and got it wrong and killed the other one by accident? This story is wild. There's so many twists and turns, and I cover the whole thing on the podcast this week.
Her shirt was found tangled on a barbed wire fence roughly 1.5 miles away from her abandoned car. Gwen Brunel was last seen on a road trip from Boise, Idaho to the Fresno area of California. She was traveling with 11 rabbits which she worked with in shows. The last sighting of Gwen is June 7th, 2023 when she stopped to get gas. This was in Jordan Valley, Oregon, but when her car was found, it was on Sucker Creek Road going back towards Boise, almost like she decided to abandon the road trip. Gwen had a deep passion for rabbits, and when they located her abandoned car, inside were several rabbits in cages along with food to last multiple days. Her car had no mechanical issues, so why would she get out? Search parties and tracker dogs have not been able to locate Gwen, and she's still missing. After discovering her ripped shirt, investigators knew where they needed to start looking, and shortly after found her knee-high boots. This is a very rural area, and if she's lost, it could take a long time to find her. Her family has said that she may be disoriented, so we're not really sure if that's because of like a medication she's on or some kind of condition. Her family believes she either wandered off or was abducted. Based on gas usage and information from the car, the furthest point down she could have traveled is McDermott, Nevada. So if you live in this area, please keep an eye out and save her missing poster, which I'm posting on the next screen.
Has anybody else noticed how many celebrities, famous people, have died just in the past week or so? I'm pretty sure we've all heard about Matthew Perry passing away just the other day, but there's been a lot of others. This hockey player, Adam Johnson, died from a freak accident on the ice during a game. Soap opera actor Tyler Christopher, who's also Eva Longoria's ex-husband, just had a heart attack at 50 years old and died. All three of those people are younger than me. Then you have legendary basketball coach Bobby Knight, who just died yesterday, and baseball all-star Frank Howard, who I met in person a few times when he coached with the Milwaukee Brewers. He just died the other day. And that's just in the past week or so. And this is just famous people I'm talking about. Like these three, who all died in the past month or so. And here's three more who just recently died. Now look, I'm not saying something's up, but this is a lot of famous deaths in a very short time. Is something going on, or am I just out of my damn mind? I don't know. You tell me. Shabadoo Booskies? Shabadoo.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I didn't back this till now. The joke, why did the chicken cross the road? Yeah. You know it's mad dark? What? How's that dark? It's dark as fuck. I didn't realize it. Why did the chicken cross the road? What's the answer? To get to the other side? To get to the other side. Yo, wait. As in, to the other side, fam. Nah, chill. Cause it's crossy road, bro. He's crossing the road because there's cars gonna cross the road. So to get to the other side, but if he gets hit by a car, that's the other side because he died, fam. That shit is dark. No. I didn't back that. Did you make that up? Did you make that up? No, I heard about this. Made that up. No, this is real.
Because what I'm thinking is like, whenever I saw that cartoon when I was a kid, there was a road and then the chicken on this one and then like the, his home. So I'm like, okay, to get to the other side, to get to his home. Yeah, right?
That's what I thought too. No, it's not. Cause that's not the joke. A joke's supposed to be like deeper.
This is an influencer named CJ So Cool. Now CJ has a 12-year-old daughter named Kamari. And Kamari was caught at a party, working and doing splits. Now CJ was not happy. And he decided he would broadcast her discipline to teach her a lesson. Which was him cutting her hair.
Please. No. I can't stop. For those of you watching, my daughter has 2 Fs, by the way. 2 Fs. And she still ended up at a party in Gary. And the party was at a 21 and older club. What was you doing there?
I didn't know.
You didn't know it was a grown-up club?
I never been to a club. How would I know?
You right.
Now some people were angry, saying he's a terrible father, cutting your child's hair and humiliating them isn't discipline. And to be honest, some people just found it funny. But then not only that, he made her do push-ups.
You got big booty, strong arms, strong legs, strong brain. You're just the stupid.
Wait, what did he say?
You got big booty, strong arms, strong legs, strong brain. You're just the stupid.
Well, okay then. Anyways, do you think cutting her hair on camera was going too far? Or do you think this was a proper punishment?
Who is the King in Yellow? Hastur, or the King in Yellow, is a mysterious and malevolent cosmic being often described as a god or a great old one in the Lovecraftian mythos. Like many entities in the Cthulhu mythos, Hastur is often associated with the ability to induce madness or insanity in those who encounter its presence or its symbols, known as the King in Yellow or the Yellow Sign. In addition to inducing madness, the yellow sign is often associated with moral and spiritual corruption. Those who become entangled with the symbol may experience a moral degradation or a loss of their humanity as they are drawn deeper into the influence of Hastur. While not explicitly possessing supernatural powers itself, the yellow sign is sometimes depicted as having a subtle, pervasive influence over reality. It may act as a conduit or a marker, through which the cosmic power of Hastur can seep into the world, warping the fabric of reality. Hastur is believed to have a following of devoted cultists who perform dark rituals in its name. These cultists may possess special abilities or knowledge granted to them by displaying the yellow sign or incorporating it into their rituals. They can invoke the favor of Hastur. While Hastur uses his sign or avatar to infiltrate and influence our world, his true self exists beyond the boundaries of time and space.
The Lake Meos disaster. August 21st, 1986. 1,700 people just mysteriously dead in this tiny town.
What?
All of the livestock dead.
Whoa.
All because of a nearby lake. Because this lake belches a cloud of carbon dioxide gas that suffocates everything within a 16-mile radius.
Literally my worst fear.
That's a true horror movie.
Yes.
Waking up and just seeing 1,700 people in your town dead.
Yo, that's wild.
Yeah, super scary.
Step into a world where reality wavers, where the mysteries of the Lake Michigan Triangle might just be scarier than the Bermuda Triangle. Imagine ships and planes vanishing without a trace, leaving behind an unsettling aura. Let's delve into this eerie tapestry, where enigma reigns and shadows whisper secrets. Picture the Rosa Belle, discovered adrift but devoid of its crew. A ship that hides its stories beneath a blanket of silence, a crew that vanished, their fate unknown. Then there's the Thomas Hume, consumed by the waves, as if the lake itself hungered for its secrets. An entire ship erased, as if it never was. And who could forget Northwest Airlines Flight 2501? Officers claimed to see eerie red lights before their plane vanished into thin air, leaving no wreckage behind. Beware the pull of the Lake Michigan Triangle, where intrigue lures the curious. Within, reality bends, the unexplained beckons, and darkness gathers. Amidst these chilling stories, one thing holds true: those who seek answers risk plunging into a chilling abyss of uncertainty, where reality and dread intermingle, casting a sinister veil over all.
Breaking news, Bryan Kohberger has had his status conference regarding investigative genealogy. As you may remember, using genetic genealogy is how they were able to locate Bryan Kohberger as a suspect. They used DNA from the Knight's sheep and connected it to a family member and then linked it to Kohberger. You will also see it be referred to as IGG, investigative genetic genealogy. This is one of the most important factors in the case. This status conference was held via Zoom. The only people in the courtroom today were the judge and other people in the viewing. However, Ann Taylor was underneath the courthouse in the basement with Bryan Kohberger. They appeared via Zoom together. The prosecutor stated that they have asked the FBI for all genetic genealogy info. It is a long process that has to go through the Department of Justice and could take up to a month. In addition, he explained that a private lab also worked on the genetic genealogy. At this time, there are multiple reports they are trying to obtain from the lab and the FBI. The defense says, quote, "It's been a long road for us to get information." The judge then stated he would prefer to review all DNA info all at once. They said one of the main issues it is difficult to obtain these genetic genealogy reports is because there are people on there that are completely unrelated to the Kohberger case. He then set a deadline of December 1st for all information to be presented to the court. He said there could be another delay because getting the FBI reports has seemed to be an issue. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
Could one of Nostradamus' most dire predictions possibly be getting ready to come true? Well, something Nostradamus said could happen was just in the news today. A massive series of solar flares, bigger than even NASA expected, could be on the way. And this scientist and astrophysicist has warned us what could happen.
Or a giant solar flare that shorts out the grid in all of North America, let's say. Now, astronomers are monitoring the sun 24/7 with various satellites, and we can tell when there's a flare or a coronal mass ejection. And we can tell that in a day or two, a giant bundle of energetic particles will arrive and twang the magnetic field of Earth and send all kinds of currents through long-distance power lines. And that's what shorts out the transformers.
Some of the best telescopes in the world are observing the sun constantly. Because a giant solar flare or solar storm could wipe out the energy grid on the whole planet. And then we're back to the Dark Ages. Now, I'm not going to worry about this because there's nothing I can do about it either way. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments section. Shabadoo Booshkies! Shabadoo!
So there's a Mandela effect. Day and night. Who's it by?
Kid Cudi.
It's by Kanye.
Huh? The day and night, we twist and turn.
Day and night, I toss and turn, I keep...
There's a Mandela effect saying like Kid Cudi made Day and Night, but it's not because Kanye made it.
But he ghostwrote it for Kid
No,
Cudi, right?
it's by Kanye.
Wait.
Now look at this. Man, it's the magnet keeps attracting me.
Oh, so it was both of them.
No, Kid Cudi had nothing to do with Day and Night.
Stop.
It's a Mandela effect.
Stop. Kid Cudi? No, everyone knows that's Kid Cudi's song. On Apple Music, does it say Kid Cudi?
That's why it's a Mandela effect, because people are saying they think Kid Cudi performed and wrote it. That's Kanye's song.
What?
Gaslighting.
Okay. No, but when you played it, it sounded like Kanye though.
Because it is Kanye.
So what is it? So what's the Mandela effect?
It's a fake Mandela effect. I just wanted to put it on you. So what happened was AI, they used it to generate a Kanye West version of Kid Cudi's song to prank you. I wanted to prank you because it's like a Mandela effect. Like, oh shit.
Breaking news, a missing 13-year-old has been found with a tetherball rope around his neck. Officials say 13-year-old Maximus Knight went missing Saturday after he helped clean up the Knight's corn maze and pumpkin patch. This is about 160 miles south of Salt Lake. A short time after he was noticed to be missing, his family found him with the rope of a tetherball around his neck. Authorities say when he was located, he was not breathing and had no pulse. Dispatchers instructed the individuals on the scene on how to administer CPR before paramedics could arrive. It was at that time they were able to restore a pulse. He was then immediately rushed to a local hospital where he was then flown to a medical facility in Salt Lake City. Unfortunately, it was there that he was pronounced deceased. The exact cause of death is to be investigated by the state's medical examiner's office. However, at this time, they say there is no sign of foul play or suspicious activity, and they are calling it a, quote, tragic accident. I'll keep you guys updated on anything that develops. What do you guys think? Drop in the comments.